Hi, this is Alex from Psychostick, and you are watching Behind the Kit.
Hello, welcome to Behind the Kit. Today we'll be talking with Alex from Psychostick. Hope you guys enjoy this. Alright guys, we are here with Alex from Psychostick.
Greetings.
At the Metro Music Hall. We've got a few questions for him. Hopefully we can get these out before he has to go back inside. He's had a pretty crazy day from what I've heard, so.
Pretty wild.
Alex, thank you so much for doing this for me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So the first question obviously is, how did the band come together? It looks like you've been in the band the whole time, is that right?
I've been in the band since day one. It was actually 2000 is when we started, so I've been in the band literally over half my life. Because I'm 33 now. I was 15 when we started. I still had braces.
Gosh.
I mean, everything. It was crazy. So
That's insane.
I put an ad in the New Times after going to a Primus show. That's
Nice.
the guy, Brain. I saw Brain in like 99. I got inspired to play drums, and I wanted to, well, I had already played drums, but I wanted to start a band after that. And put an ad in the Phoenix New Times in Phoenix, Arizona. And I got a call from these guys that were about 5 years older than me. And they wanted to try me out because I put like bands that I was influenced by, and they...
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that kind of works. You know, that sounds like something we could do. And then we set up a tryout, and it ended up being in my bedroom. I set up my drums in my bedroom, and they came over like, are we really doing this? But they had sent me the song Pla ahead of time. So I learned the song and then tried out for the band with their song, which became our song.
Yeah.
And they let me in.
Nice. So from the very beginning, it was the comedy concept?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, from day one, it was like a comedy thing because that was kind of the goal. Because originally, I think it was Josh primarily. He wanted to hear a comedy metal group, and he couldn't find one. He's like, all right, I guess I'll do it.
Nice. What is your favorite Psychostick album?
I know people always say it's like you can't really choose because it's like your kids. Like you can't
Right.
just pick favorites. Like no, you can pick favorites. I'm really partial to. I really like Sandwich. And I really like Revenge of the Vengeance, the latest one,
Yeah.
because they're a little more, well, Revenge is a little more just kind of quirky. Like, we started really not giving a fuck at all on that album. Just started writing, like, really strange music, so that's fun. And then Sandwich is just really heavy, so
Yeah.
it's fun to play because it's fast and aggressive, so I'm
Nice.
particularly fond of those, but I like them all. If I didn't like them, I wouldn't play them.
You probably wouldn't release them either.
Exactly, wouldn't release them.
So how much involvement do you have in the writing process?
I write all my own drum parts unless there's a part that, let's say Josh or whatever, like he'll program something and then I'll make it my own if that's the case. So if he writes a song, completes everything just to have a demo done, I might come in and change a few things and like make my own drum fills or whatever, but he'll have the bare skeleton and then I'll make it my own.
Yeah.
But for most songs, I write the majority of the drum parts, and then for the actual like full songs, I do around 2 an album. So I'll write, 2 entire songs. So for example, on Revenge of the Vengeance, I did Quack Kills specifically just to fuck with Rob, our singer, because I knew everybody would be like, are you really afraid of ducks? And he'd have to be like, no, man, he wrote that.
Yeah.
So I wrote that one and then Bruce Campbell. So
Nice.
I did those 2. So usually about 2 an album.
Nice. You, from start to finish?
Yeah.
And then does everybody kind of collaborate on lyrics, or is it pretty much set in stone what you write, or just depends?
It all depends on the song. Some of them are pretty much finished when I submit them, if you will, like when I share them with the guys, and others just kind of suck, and I'm like, here, I'm not happy with this at all. Can you make this good?
Yeah.
Like the song Passive Vengeance, I wrote all the music and I wrote all the lyrics, and it was done, but I hated it. I didn't like it at all. I liked the music.
Yeah.
So I just came to Josh and Rob, was like, can you just write completely new lyrics? Because I don't like the ones I wrote at all. So they did, and it became Passive Vengeance, and it's so much better than how it was originally. So I'm really glad that they were good enough to do that.
That's awesome. Who are your main drum influences?
Ooh, big drum influences.
Dillinger Escape Plan.
That's one of them. Yeah, any drummer that can play for Dillinger is pretty much one of my favorites. But yeah, Billy, great guy. Really nice guy. He's one of my big influences. Thomas from Meshuggah, definitely. Travis Barker's one of my top guys. And then Brain from Primus. Well, all the guys from Primus, but Brain specifically, because he's the first one I saw, so it's like real meaningful to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, those guys, and then Abe Cunningham from Deftones, just so solid.
Yeah.
Just really, really appreciate all of them. And then anyone else you've interviewed, those are all my favorites.
Definitely. What's your favorite song to perform?
Ooh, favorite song to perform. One of them would definitely be President Rhino, because it's really fast. I just enjoy playing really quick songs like that, and it's just kind of a weird arrangement too. It's like a lot of strange parts, so it's just kind of fun, keeps it interesting, and it's short.
Yeah.
I really enjoy 2-minute songs, so I like that. Yeah, just blast through it, play as many as you can.
Yeah.
So that one for sure. We just released a few months ago this song called Breakfast, and it's like this weird breakbeat thing that turns into a metal song, and it's only like 45 seconds long. So pretty much anything strange that's just going to weird people out, I'm into it. So those are some of my favorites, I guess.
Nice. What kind of music are you listening to when you're not on stage?
My tastes are getting more and more eclectic because I like all kinds of stuff, and it's getting more widespread. So I recently found Godmother, which is just insane, I don't know, death metal. I don't know what to call it exactly, but they're awesome. And then it goes as far as like that extreme to the other extreme would be like Punch Brothers, a bluegrass band that doesn't even have a drummer.
Nice.
Like they're just fantastic musicians.
Yeah.
I saw them live. They're doing 4-part harmonies.
Holy crap.
It's like, you assholes.
That's what Haken does too, but it's like over progressive music. It's
oh
awesome.
my God. So yeah, I mean, and everything in between. There's the new Brand New record. I love Brand New. They're one of my absolute, actually, these guys.
There we go.
I love them, man. Like just
Nice.
a great band. So I've been listening to them a lot lately. I recently found a band called Archive, which is kind of an electronic sort of English group, I guess. Ska, metal, punk, all kinds of stuff.
Nice. What's the drum track you're most proud of?
Ooh. That's a very interesting question. One of them that I'm particularly fond of, and I guess it comes to mind because we played it last night, the song Minimum Rage, also on Sandwich, because the chorus of it is just a really weird beat where I play every single part of my drum set, every measure. Like everything, because it just goes through all the toms and all the cymbals, and it's just fun to play to be all the way across without, it's not like a drum solo, not like showing off. It is fitting to the music.
Yeah.
But it's fun to play, but it still fits. So I feel like I really figured out how to balance those two things to where it's interesting to the listener if they're, a drummer.
Yeah.
But also not going overboard, just doing like insanity for no reason and just like, all right, bring it down, dude.
Definitely.
So I'm really proud of that one.
Nice. If you could give any advice to drummers or any musicians in general, what would it be? As far as like somebody who wants to make it or...
Oh, you want to make it. Okay. Another thing I dealt with last night. If you're a musician and you want to play with other bands and you want them to like you, it doesn't matter when you start your set. It matters when you end your set. If you start 15 minutes late and you have a 15-minute set, be professional. End when the set's supposed to be done, because if every band goes over and the final band... Us last night is supposed to be playing at 10:45. We end up at 12:45.
Oh my God.
It doesn't work. So
No.
I had to be the bad guy because I'm also the tour manager, and I had to cut them. And so they were a little grumpy. I'm like, look, and I had to explain it to them. So it's a learning process. Is it something you can't? You're not going to know it unless you've been through it. But everybody's been through it. Ask any drummer in the world, and they'll tell you. Everybody's been cut. It sucks. You learn from it. You get better. It just be as quick as you can. Just be professional and be as quick as you can, because that it shows other musicians, especially managers, everyone notices that kind of stuff. So playing one extra song is not going to make your career. It's being on time and being professional that's going to impress people.
And how did you come into the tour manager position for Psychostick?
I graduated with my master's degree in May.
Oh.
I've been doing college for 5.5 years or so, and I just wrapped up my my master's in business psychology. So I've been doing that on the road while touring. I've just been juggling all kinds of stuff the last few years, and it's been just really crazy, but I've been wanting to do it, and I don't like compromising my goals.
Yeah.
So I want to continue making music, and I wanted to go to college and pursue that goal as well. So I did, and then I graduated, and now that I had all this free time available, just kind of like, wow, I have so much time to do stuff. And then Maddie, our bass player, also does merch. He was also doing TM stuff, the tour managing stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, how about this? How about I focus on merch so I could do better at sales, and you do tour managing stuff since you just got a business degree? I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
So this is my first run as TM, and so far this is like day 5 or whatever it is.
Super
I don't
early
know.
in the tour, yeah.
Yeah, and the first couple days were a little shaky, but now I'm into kind of a groove. So
Yeah.
it's a little hectic still, but nothing's falling through the cracks anymore. So it's pretty good so far.
Nice. What's the progress on the next album?
Ooh, next album. So we're doing something new with this one. Instead of doing all the songwriting at once and then all the drums at once and so on, that's a really just tiring, exhausting process. So we decided, now that we have our own studio space in the basement of this house, we're going to do it in chunks, like 3-song chunks. So at this point, we have enough songs for the whole album written, but we've recorded drums for 6 of them. And then we're starting to do guitars just kind of in layers, just a little bit at a time, so it's not doing all the same thing all at once. So as far as how much we've done for the album, I've recorded 6 songs. We probably have another 8 or so to do or something like that, but it's coming along, and it's really weird. A lot of the songs are just about being lazy and avoiding people, and there's a song about being introverted, because 3 of us in the band are moderate introverts.
Yeah.
Like we can, be around crowds of people, but after a little while, it's like, all right, I'm gonna take a break for a minute and then come back. So there's songs like that, just like avoiding people and just being a shitbag.
So you released Breakfast, you released Adulting.
Yeah.
Are those the first 2 of the 3, or was that?
Yeah, those 2 count. The introvert song. There's a few more that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about yet. Right. And also we're doing another parody, because the last couple of years we did like a Rammstein kind of parody and then a System of a Down one. And so this year we have another one, and this one's like, it was challenging to learn. So
really?
If it's for drummers, hopefully you guys like it, because this song took me a few weeks.
Wow.
It was tough, but I'm really
awesome.
happy with it.
Is that the next one you'll be releasing then? Or is there another one
that's
before
fair
that?
to say.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So on Thanksgiving, that'll be out.
So in the 18 years that you guys have been a band,
Mm-hmm.
what is your biggest accomplishment in your eyes?
We got to the UK twice, and that was unbelievable that actually happened. So, I'm super proud of that. And we just got booked for Germany in June. So next June, 2018,
Nice.
which blows me away, because we've been, that's one of those things where you're like, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to do that.
Yeah.
Because us included, I'm not saying that we're immune from this, but when you're a younger band and you don't know any better, you ask larger bands like, hey, take us on tour.
Right.
Don't ever do that. That's just annoying
Excellent
to everyone.
advice.
Yeah, don't do that. Show them you're worth it. But
Yeah.
anyway, I digress. But we have a booking agent over in the European area, and he got us over to England for, well, not just England, but all of the UK for 2015 and 2016. And we're skipping this year because we're doing recording. But 2018, we're going to be back mainland Europe for the first time ever. So, yeah.
How'd that come about?
We were sent an offer by them.
Really?
Which is insane. Like,
That's
somehow,
awesome.
whoever does the booking
Yeah.
for that festival, like some crazy festival, like Marduk is going to be, Marduk? I don't know. Crazy, like, black metal bands, all kinds of stuff, man. Like, they're going to be there. They wanted to book us, so they sent us an offer, and we're like, yeah, of course. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So we just committed to it, so we're on the website. We put it on our tour page, so now we have to go.
Yeah.
Go try good food. That's really why we tour, is laminates and food.
So what do the next 18 years look like? Do you guys have any idea? Any other major goals?
18 years, man. Like, if you asked me that question 18 years ago,
Right.
it wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so much changes in 5 years. But as far as really big goals, like long-term kind of stuff, I would really like to not get away from just doing what we're doing, but expand into other mediums as well, such as my guitarist and singer are developing a video game, for example.
Nice.
I'm not a gamer really, but I think it's really cool because that's a different medium. And Josh likes composing songs for, different projects, so shut up. So I think if you got into composing more, like that'd be really cool too. So I might get more into managing other bands. I mean, I don't know, like maybe I'll start some business related to something or other. I mean, actually one of my degrees, I guess, I have a finance degree as well. And so I wanted to start a finance company specifically to cater toward musicians because none of us have any of that. None of my friends really know what to do to save for retirement, for example, like stuff like that. I want to be able to help our group be able to do that kind of stuff because if one of us with tattoos and piercings and all that goes into an office with some stuffy office for like a lawyer or a financial advisor or something, they're gonna feel awkward. They're just gonna be judged as soon as they walk in. They don't need that shit, you know.
Definitely.
So it's something that I would like to do. So it's slow going, but that's just broaden our horizons, I guess.
Cool. So your double bass technique, is it heel up, heel toe?
Heel up. That's mine.
Have you experimented with heel toe at all? I could never get it.
I think it's cool. I think it's really impressive when people can do it, but I just like stomping too hard, I think. And that's probably really poor technique, honestly. It's probably not something I would recommend to others. Like maybe investigate it, see if it works, but I'm not an instructor either, so that's not really my role.
If you could take drum lessons from any drummer, dead or alive, who would it be?
I'd probably go for Travis Barker.
Nice.
Because that guy is so broad with all the stuff that he can play and does play. I mean, he does anything from hip-hop to ska to funk to just anything. So, I mean, I think I could learn a lot from a guy like that.
What's your favorite thing on your kit?
My snare drum. I have a vented Orange County 14-inch by 5.5.
Holy crap.
But it has those huge vents in the side.
Nice.
So it's like, it only does really one thing, just it's like a bullet going and just a gun going off every time, but it does it really, really well. Nice. So for this style, we're not playing jazz, Right. Not really. You're not going to be able to use it for very diverse types of music, but for what we do, it's great. It works really well.
What's the worst drum malfunction you've ever had?
Well, I have so many. One really interesting one was I broke a stick in half. It snapped and then flew up and stuck in my forehead. It didn't just poke me and then fall out. It actually stuck into my head.
Oh my god!
And I had to pull it out. Like, what is going on? It was a good centimeter deep, like bloody. I'm like, oh my god. And I broken the beaters on my kick drum pedal before.
Really?
Snapped them in half a few times.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
You stomp hard then.
That was when I was playing the DW pedals and I could really just stomp on them. But now I have trick pedals, so it's a lot more. I have to actually use technique more.
Yeah.
So thanks, Trick.
And do you prefer touring or being in the studio?
Honestly, I know this is kind of a cop-out, but I enjoy both for different reasons. Because when you're only in the studio for a long time, you want to get out and see the road again. And when you're on tour for a long time, you just want to sleep in your own bed.
Yeah.
So I think overall, I probably enjoy... I enjoy releasing music, like new music. I like being able to share it with people for the first time. So we can kind of do that with touring. I don't know. It's just really gratifying being able to finish something and go, here, listen to this, and seeing, the reactions. Or like, if they think it sucks, like, oh man, guess we'll try better next time.
Is that one of the reasons you guys are kind of like slow leaking this new material? So
that's one of the reasons, yeah. Part of my school research, I was doing a project on how people react to different products. It's like a marketing psychology type of thing. I know I'm a nerd.
Dude,
but it's
good stuff.
One idea that we had behind the marketing psychology is that when you plop down a whole bunch of stuff all at once, it's not necessarily overwhelming, but a lot of people won't really dive into it. because it's so much all at once. So if they buy an album, great. But if you don't release anything for 3 years after that, they're going to forget about you.
Yeah.
But if you keep reminding them, here's a video every 3 months or whatever it is, every month, if you could do it ideally every month, that'd be amazing. I feel like that would be a more effective business plan than releasing an album every 3 years.
Yeah.
Just being able to do, if you did 12 songs a year, one every month, and just release them for $1 a piece. I feel like if you get a subscription basis, if you could sell an album on a subscription basis throughout the year, just do that in perpetuity, I feel like that would be extremely powerful. And I would love to do that, but we're not currently in the place where we can. So if anybody wants to take that idea and make it their own, just tell me about it, because I want to see how it goes.
There's a couple of bands that do actually. There's a band called Lords of Trident.
Oh, we know them, yeah.
Yeah, they do. They have a Patreon that they set up. Like,
the
they just do
Patreon account,
exclusive
yeah.
Content, so.
That's awesome. I need to
So,
talk
yeah,
to them
same
about it then.
concept,
We stayed
yeah.
at the guy's house a couple times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
We love those dudes. They're great.
Yeah, they're awesome. Okay, and then the other question I had was kind of related to that, where you guys don't seem to be on a label. You're doing everything pretty much independent.
We were on Rockridge Music, and they were mostly our distributor for, 11 years, I guess? Yeah, we got signed in 2006, and then our last contract expired this year.
Oh, okay.
And they were great to us, but there are a lot of things that we want to try and experiment with in the business sense, so we are kind of stepping away and doing, because we retained all the rights, because don't ever sign a contract you don't understand. And don't give away the rights to your music.
Yes.
Just don't do it. If there's one company that'll sign you, there's also going to be another. So that's what we did. We read our contracts, and anything silly, we just kind of picked it apart.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk some shit for a second, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Virgin Records. Remember them?
Yep.
2006, they approached us and wanted to sign us. So I looked through it. I'm like, this is bullshit. So the first thing we asked them, we got them on a call. I was like, all right, well, we want to retain our own music, the rights to our music.
Yeah.
So how about that? They're like, we'll look into it. They never called back.
Yeah.
But then we got in touch with Rockridge and told them the same thing, and they were awesome about it. So
Nice.
very professional. So even though we're not working with them anymore, I love them to death. Great people. Just went a different direction.
Yeah.
I love, they're awesome people. So I definitely would support them.
Do you guys think you'll be doing another IndieGoGo or Kickstarter, whatever it was?
We try not to overdo it, so every few years, if there's something important that we would like to save up for, such as funding the studio or whatever, things like that. But at this point, I think we're doing well enough to where we don't really need to, so I don't want to unless we are in just some dire situation. But we did kind of have a joke idea about bring us to Australia, let's do an IndieGoGo for Australia, and our, we have a few people out there that have been yelling at us for years, come out here. We're like, how?
Yeah.
But that's what we said about Europe too. So it is
you never
not
know.
impossible. We can definitely figure it out if we try hard enough, I guess. But that was sort of an idea, but sort of a half joke.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Cool. Is there anybody, maybe any of your idols that you've been able to meet because of Psychostick?
That's a good question. I got to meet Dave from Machine Head. We were playing a festival, technically with them, but we were first or second or whatever it is, and they were hours and hours later, same stage, but it sort of counted, I guess. But I was behind the stage as one of the other bands was getting ready or whatever, just kind of hanging out, trying not to be annoying.
Right.
That's the real thing. If you ever get to play on a festival, just don't be annoying. Don't go and bother all the artists just trying to be introverted and get away from people. But I saw Dave, and he was getting his stuff ready, his drum kit ready for their set, and he was kind of looking around. He probably needed his tech or something, and I don't think he knew where he was, and he just looked a little bit flustered. I'm not saying he was flustered, but he looked flustered.
Right.
But I saw him. I was like, "You need a hand, dude?" He's like, "Yeah, that'd be great." So I helped him pick up his kit, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this thing's heavy." So yeah, if you ever meet Dave McLean and want to help him with a drum kit, just so you know, it's really heavy. But I was smart enough not to geek out on him. Like, "Oh my god, you're really good." It's like,
Turn
come on,
fanboy.
man. Yeah. If you're just
Could
cool.
you sign this?
Yeah. I mean, you could do that, but you immediately turn into, that guy.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's not a bad thing,
It
but
just kind of put you down.
yeah,
You're not equals at that point.
Not necessarily down, just it's a different thing. And I just wanted to be, professional enough to be able to say hi to him and not be like, I don't want him to sigh every time he like sees me walking up or something. So if I ever see him again, and be like, hey, what's up, dude?
Nice.
Just leave it at that,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, again, thanks so much for doing this. That's all for my questions.
Thank you for having me.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.